the police drive up and down the block and they'll see people shooting dope on the side of the road. You're smoking crack. They don't want to deal with it. They'd rather go after the guns and go after the drug dealers, and it's almost like it's legal. Like they don't bother you. Unless they don't like you, and if they don't like you, they're going to make your life miserable. But yeah, I mean, we've seen I've stumbled upon I'll never forget. One day I was literally walking down the street and I watched a guy. He was walking on the other side of the street, and I watched him just out of nowhere, like lights out, face first, smashed his face on the pavement. Um, and people were just walking by him. Nobody was helping him. Nobody was seeing if he was okay. And I had ran over um, to see if he was all right, and he was overdosing clearly. And at that point, I didn't have a cell phone. Um, I didn't have a phone, and I'm yelling. I'm like, somebody call 911. This guy's overdosing. Nobody called 911. Nobody was calling 911. So I went down to like a store that was right down the street, and I was like, hey, like, send an ambulance because some guy up there is dying. Um, and I don't know what happened to that particular guy. I don't know if he made it or not, but out there, it's a ruthless place, man. By the grace of God, I've had over 20 overdoses. Three of them I was pronounced dead. And somehow I came back from those. And one of them, coincidentally, it was pouring rain. I was behind an abandoned building in Newark, and nobody was there. It was just me. I had gotten my drugs and I went behind the building and I did my stuff, and that's all I remember. I woke up to a homeless man on top of me, giving what I thought at first, like, this is crazy, but I thought he was trying to take advantage of me, like, while I was unconscious. Um, and then I started freaking out. I started swinging on the guy. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Because he was giving me mouth to mouth. Um, and he's like, man, he's like, you were just dead. He's like, I just saved your life. You were purple. And it was pouring rain. So I'm laying on my back in the pouring rain behind an abandoned building. There's no reason he should, like, coincidentally, he had walked back behind the building to get high. And
That's
that man ended up becoming a good friend of mine. He ended up, his name is, well, he went by Quills, and me and him from that day, we stuck together. He always looked out for me. Being a white kid in a neighborhood like that, man, like, I was dealing with stuff on a daily basis. Every single day there was a problem. And I wouldn't even bother nobody. I would just be walking, and if anybody didn't like the way I looked, they're not afraid out there, that's for sure. They come up and, I've had guns put in my chest for no reason, saying empty your pocket for no reason at all. Just sitting at the park one day, some guy, you know, they called him Blue Eyes. He came up and literally just no reason put a gun in my right up to my chest and was like, empty your pockets. And I'm like, and at first I looked at him and I was like, dude, I don't have anything. And he was like, you think I'm fucking around? Empty your pockets. I emptied my pockets.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. This clip came from one of my interviews I did in the past. Please hit subscribe if you want to get more clips like this. Also, if you want to watch the full interview, I'll put a link in the description. Or you can hit the button on the screen to watch the full interview.